Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you the merge object operator in random flow. So in an earlier video we discussed join objects and split mesh. So basically these operators join the mesh, kind of like using the control J hotkey when joining objects in Blender into one mesh. And of course, with the join objects in random flow, we're using vertex group to remember the structure of the object so we can properly split them again in their original form. So that's just basic joining of the mesh, whereas merge objects actually uses boolean. And this is a vanilla operator when back in the day there was no merge option for the randomization, especially with random panels. So right now we have the merge panel option here, and basically this, of course, if we use it on this cube here and do something like square angle 20% inverted, and it's not showing. Okay, there we go. And probably increase the panel amount and play around with the depth value and also the margin, and then we can merge the panel, probably no margin. My okay, so these are merged. We can probably decrease the depth as well. There we go. So this geometry is merged to the source object, and to properly merge the randomized face island, the subdivision used for the randomization is also applied to the source mesh. Then they are joined together, and the script does all the joining of the vertices and deleting of the old faces. So with merged objects, it is going to use the boolean, and essentially your selected objects will be merged together as one using the boolean modifier. And okay, so we're going to test out. Let's try mirroring this first. I'm going to try and symmetrize the randomization result, put in some random topology here to affect the randomization result. I'm going to go ahead and use random loop extrude and 3 loop square 80 for the preset and increase the cuts. And then I'm going to get rid of the symmetry line. There we go. So we have this, and probably get rid of the, you see this kind of error in the shading. That's the faces having the same position. So we're just going to play around with the random seed of the depth. So depth global seed until we get rid of the overlap. And we also have it here. Probably do it manually. There we go. Okay, so we have developed parts therefore. So we also have the old panels result. Let's just delete that. So we've created 3 objects from the random loop extrude, and this is the second one, and this is the third one. So we can use merge objects to actually join them in a single mesh, watertight mesh, but using 3 of them, there's probably going to be an error, but that's just the nature of using boolean. So select everything, and we're going to go to extras in object and merge objects. So merge to, you're going to select from the an object from the selection to act as the primary merge to object. So in this case, the cube. And we have operand type operand type, which is object, and collection, basically determines how the boolean will be executed. So with object, each of the object will be appended to the source. Each of the other objects will be appended to the merge to object one by one, and like as a single modifier, boolean modifier for each of the object, and then collection. Assign a collection for the other objects, then use that collection as for the boolean modifier, a single boolean modifier for the merge to object. So sometimes they do result in a different uh, they result in a different boolean merging. So the option is open just for you to change the operand type, but by default, most of the time I just use object. And solver, fast and exact. Fast is of course faster, exact is slower but more precise. Okay, offset target. So the merge to object is our target, and the offset means the mesh will be offsetted, kind of like shrink fatten. It will, of course, to provide an overlap so the Boolean modifier can work correctly. If there is no overlap, especially when using the fast solver, then there might be some holes in the result of the Boolean merge. So we can use this to actually so let's use 0.0025 and offset boolean. This will offset the boolean meshes instead, or the objects that is being used as boolean to the merge to object. So let's also fatten that up for 0.0025. Self intersection, hole tolerant, and fill holes are all the toggles in the boolean modifier. I actually got the uh like the hint of, so it's not showing what this is supposed to do. So fill holes, it will try and fill the holes that are resulting of the Boolean merge. And hole tolerant means that it will incorporate holes, but in a nicer way, in a nicer result. So let's just press OK. And this this is the result. So with a lot of objects, sometimes it can be pretty chaotic. So let's bring the redo panel back and probably use 0 for the offset of the boolean. So let's just play around with the parameters. Let's use exact. Still nothing. Collection. There we go. Let's try and see what. Okay. So everything is not okay inside. So outside it's okay, but inside you can tell because there's a bunch of wireframes being highlighted in some of the valleys of the details, and that's usually an indicator that something's wrong. Okay, let's go back to object, use fast and 0.01, 0.005, simplicity. Okay, that does nothing. Okay, fill holes. Okay, that actually fixed it. Okay, fill holes. And when we go inside, so as long as you don't do anything or any function in Blender that has its own redo panel, then you can bring back the redo panel for the last operation. Okay, so simply navigating the viewport does not enter into the redo history, so you're safe with that. Also, if you want to view the wireframe, there's no input for the redo history here, or it does not register to the redo history, so you're safe and you can press F9 again to bring back the last operation we've used. But if you like click select on the object or grab it or rotate it, then that is a whole new other operation and this will be overlapped and the last operation will begin. So you have to undo and redo this operation again. So everything seems kind of okay. Okay, let's confirm the. So by going to edit mode, I have just confirmed the operation, and when I use F9 again, uh, the operation is no longer there. Okay, so let's just merge, do a quick merge operation for the duplicates, I mean double verts, and we have remove 61 verts. Okay, and probably fix the smoothing. So there might be some unseen problems, but most most of them probably merge together correctly. Let's use the pre-select to select islands if some are separated. Okay, these are separated. So if I grab it, okay, there is an error. Okay, yeah, it didn't really completely give me an accurate merging, and that is because we're using a complicated setup and we're using 3 objects. And let's try with just 1 object. And instead of using random loop extrude, we're going to use YZ. We're going to use random panels. Random panels. We have the merge panel now, so if we use it, we're probably going to get a more stable result than using the merge object. Turn this off and make sure to not incorporate any margins or offset because that will, of course, you can offset, but you must go towards the mesh and not away to provide an overlap. But in this case, we're just going to use a 0 offset. Okay. And so we have the cube inside. And we're just going to merge them. Extras, object. So this is, if you're asking the question, why not just delete the cube? So this is just an example. We're going to use this again for the merging. We're going to layer another randomization here and then try and merge it again. Okay. Without using the merge panel. Fill holes. Okay. Merge to object. 0.0001. Let's see. All right. I think it merged correctly. Let's do some cleanup. 1005. It's probably because of the mirror. Uh, yes, the mirror. So, oh, that is not correct. So you see, this is a problem of the. Let's try and do that again. Actually, let's get rid of the cube. Okay, let's get rid of the cube and just use this for the merge. So apply mesh and get rid of the doubles. So now you know why it's vanilla. So if the pre-select doesn't work in edit mode, I don't know why it didn't work that this time. So Control A and apply the rotation. Nothing. So just use it in object mode. We're going to use random panels here again. We'll probably just use a simple geometry. Okay, and merge them. Merge object. Merge two is control one, cube one, our panel, and okay. Let's go to edit mode. Okay, I think so. This is usually how I view the result. If they merge correctly, I'm going to edit mode and go inside the mesh. Okay, so fill holes, self intersection, hole tolerant, exact, collection. Okay, yeah, I think they merged correctly. Control Shift F. Yeah, they merged correctly. Everything is selected. Oh, so you can see it's really problematic for complicated meshes. But if you use it outside of this or outside of random flow and just use it to merge simple objects, then I think it's actually really useful. Just a really quick way of doing boolean. So if for example you're going to just merge these three objects into a single object, you can use the legacy operator, which is our merge objects. Merge to object, give one, and by means of upper type object 0.002 for the offset of the target or the merge to object, and okay. And you can see that they have merged correctly. So using it, so no errors there. Using it for simple objects, um, this operator is still very useful. You can use it outside of random flow because this is a very old operator and is meant to provide the 3D printers back in the old days when the random flow add-on is still quite new. Some people have been requesting to actually merge the result of the randomization into a single object so they can try and 3D print it. And that is why we have the merge panel now. Okay, so let's qualify this. Quad slice, XYZ, and all faces. Oh man, hold on. Select everything, quad slice, XYZ, all faces. So everything's qualified. And we can randomize the geometric error, the spiking error. You can get rid of that by setting even depth to off. But it makes the extrusion not straight. So you can instead use split, but this splits the sharp edges or sharp corners. So you can still go to wrap and increase this to something like 90 degrees. There's still going to be spiking errors, but you can use the panel seed to arrive with a result that doesn't have the spiking errors. Okay. So yeah, that's the merge object, a vanilla operator in random flow, which is used to quickly boolean objects into a single mesh. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, depending on the complexity of the randomization or the randomized mesh. But if you use it outside of random flow and just to merge simple objects. So for example, if you're modeling quickly just sketching a base mesh and you want it to be a single mesh, you can just quickly use this operator to join them into one. Merge objects. Okay, so that is it for this video. If you have any questions, use the comment section below or the links in the description. Thank you for watching and you have a nice day.